In this quick video, I'm going to show you the full process, the full A to Z of how to launch a product on Amazon in under 20 minutes. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so when it comes to launching a new product on Amazon, there's really 5 steps in the process. Step number 1 is product research. Step number 2 is sourcing and manufacturing. Step number 3 is shipping your stock into Amazon's fulfillment centers. Step number 4 is creating a high converting product listing. And the 5th and final step in the process is your actual product launch. And in this video, I'm gonna go through each of these 5 steps in detail. And we're gonna start off with step number 1, which is product research. Now, if you've watched any YouTube videos about Amazon FBA, you've probably used the term product research used so many times. But what do we actually mean when we say product research? Well, product research is essentially the process of discovering and developing winning product ideas. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this video. Now, the way that I like to approach product research is something that I call the product research funnel. And this is a way that I basically break up the whole process of product research into 3 different steps. Step number 1 is the product idea factory. Step number 2 is assessing demand and competition. And step number 3 is improving on your competition. And the idea with this product research funnel is that you fill your funnel, you start at the top of the funnel, you fill it with as many product ideas as possible. And as you work your way through the funnel, there's different checks at different stages. And there's certain sets of criteria that all of those products need to meet. If they don't meet it, they get booted out of the funnel. If they do meet it, they pass down the funnel. And the idea is that as each product idea works their way through a set of different criteria, you should be left at the end of the funnel, ideally, with just a few really good and well-developed product ideas that are gonna do really well for you. So that's the idea with the product research funnel. So let's go through this funnel and I'll show you how to execute each one of these steps. Starting off with step 1, which is the product idea factory. Now, the idea with this first step is just to fill your funnel with as many product ideas as possible using what I call product criteria. So really, to be able to be included in this top stage of the funnel, a product just has to meet 4 quite basic criteria. And those 4 criteria are: number 1, that the product is small and lightweight. Number 2, that the product is simple and durable. Number 3, that the product sells between 15 and 50 pounds. And number 4, that the product is able to be branded, because this whole video is about creating a private label product. So the product actually has to be brandable, and some products just actually aren't. Now guys, there are loads of different ways to find initial Amazon FBA product ideas. Too many to go over in this quick video. But if you want a full tutorial on how to fill your funnel with product ideas, I'll link to a video that I put out a few weeks ago up here and also down in the description. But one of the best ways you can do it is using a tool by Helium 10 called Blackbox, and I'm gonna show you how. Okay guys, so once you're logged into Helium 10, you wanna click on Tools and then come to the Blackbox tool, which will look a bit like this. Now guys, if you're not already using Helium 10, you can use codes LucaDav10 for 10% off for life, or LucaDav20 for 20% off for 6 months. Now, once you're in the Helium 10 Blackbox tool, then what we want to do is start using some filters. Now, what this tool is going to do is it's going to search all of Amazon's catalog, and it's going to find any products sold on Amazon that meet the criteria that we enter into these filters here. So the first criteria that we want to enter is to make sure that we only find products that are small and lightweight. So we come to the shipping size section here. What we want to do is select everything apart from oversized products. Once we've done that, what you then want to do is also add in a maximum weight. So we want to add in a maximum weight of 2 pounds, which if you're based in Europe or the UK and we use the metric system, that's about 1 kilo. So that will only make sure that the tool only shows us products that are small and lightweight. Then what we want to do is come up to price and make sure we select a minimum of 15 to 50 pounds. Again, this is the second product criteria that we want to look for, products that sell between 15 and 50 pounds. And then what you want to do is come down and click search. Now, if you remember from my earlier slide, the other 2 product criteria that you want to be looking for is products that are brandable and also simple and durable. Now, there's no way to actually use filters to find that. So what you need to do is then manually look through these search results, look at each product and decide whether it is brandable, whether it is simple and durable. And if it is, you then want to add that into your list of keywords for stage one. So for instance, this example, this is a key lockbox that is brandable, that is pretty simple and durable. I would say that is a great product to add into our product research funnel. Now, once you've filled your funnel with a long list of initial product ideas, you can then take each one of those product ideas to stage two, where you're going to assess the strength of the demand and competition for each one of those product ideas. Essentially, in step two, what you're doing is assessing the overall product opportunity for each one of those product ideas. Now, for the product to move on to stage three of the product research funnel, it has to meet three opportunity criteria at stage two. The first is that it has strong demand. The second is that it has relatively weak competition. And the third is that there's clear room for improvement. So let's look at how we would actually go about assessing the strength of the demand for the product. So what you'd want to do is you want to head over to Amazon and you'd want to search the main keyword for each of your products. So in the example we're looking at, we would search for key lockbox. In this example, I'm going to pretend that we're looking for laptop stands, because you guys know that's my favorite example. So once you search that main keyword on Amazon, you then want to load the Helium 10 X-ray tool. And once you've loaded the X-ray tool, what you firstly want to look at is the revenue column. And when you're looking at the revenue column, there's really three things you want to be looking for. Number one, you want to make sure that there's good, strong revenue. Number two, you want to make sure that that revenue is fairly evenly distributed across the top 10 to 20 listings. You don't want to find that there's one or two competitors totally dominating. And the third and final thing that you're looking for is to make sure that that revenue is actually realistic with your budget. So what I tend to recommend is that your starting budget, you should be able to look for products that sell somewhere between 1 to 1.5 times per month your starting budget. So for example, let's say you have a starting budget of £5,000 to launch your first product. These top 10 to 20 listings should all be generating somewhere between £5,000 and £8,000 per month. Then you know that this product is actually within your budget. Any more than that, you're going to struggle to afford to launch the product with your budget. Any less than that, you're not fully utilizing your budget. Then once you've established the strength of the demand, the next thing you want to do is establish the strength of the competition and see whether you can see any clear gaps in the market. Now, a lot of bad information online will tell you just to look at the number of reviews that your competitors have, but this is just not correct. What you need to understand is that when customers shop on Amazon, they compare the overall desirability of each product offer in a split second just by looking at the listing before they make their decision. And when customers are looking at the overall desirability of a product offer, they're looking at the product itself, what the product comes with, so any bundles like accessories or freebies, the product listing itself, the shipping speed, the price, the number of reviews, and review ratings. So when you're assessing the strength of your competition, you can't just look at the number of reviews, because that's not what customers are looking at. Customers are looking at everything, so you also need to look at everything when you're assessing the strength of your competition. So when assessing the strength of the competition for each one of your product ideas, the first thing you want to do is just manually have a look at your competitors' product listings. Are they all selling very similar products, and could you launch a differentiated product? Or are they all selling loads of differentiated products where it would be hard to launch something different? Are they all selling a product without bundles, where you could actually launch an improved offer with a bundle? Or is the competition very strong and established with loads of different types of bundles? Have a look at their product listings as well. Are the product listings really poor quality? Could you create a better product listing? Or are the listings all really high quality, and would it be hard for you to actually create something better? So you're just trying to work out how easy it would be to compete and whether you can see gaps in the market where you could actually do something better. So that's kind of the idea here. So you want to start off by doing that manually. And then once you've done that, you want to move over to looking at some of the data in the Helium 10 X-ray tool again. So the first thing you want to look at in the Helium 10 X-ray tool is the review column. So yes, reviews are not the only important thing, but they are still important. So you want to look at what the average number of reviews your competitors have. The higher number of reviews they have and the higher review rating they have, the harder it's going to be for you to compete. The lower number of reviews, the lower the review rating they have, the easier it is going to be for you to compete. So for example, if you find that all of your competitors have a very low review rating, under 4 stars, then you can actually look at the reviews, you can see what people are complaining about. You can actually create an improved product that that basically overcomes all of those issues that your competitors' products have. You should then consistently get 4.5 or 5-star reviews across the board, and that will be your differentiating factor that will allow you to compete with the competition because they all have lower review ratings. The final thing that you want to look at is the shipping. So ideally, if you can find products, for instance, where the majority of sellers are merchant fulfilled, then you can actually launch an FBA product if it's viable via FBA, and actually have quicker shipping time for them. So again, you're just looking for any areas where the competition is weak in, any clear gaps in the market where you could actually do something better and have a more desirable product offer overall. So then any products that have good, strong demand, the competition isn't too strong, and you can see clear room for improvement, you can then move to stage 3, which is actually then improving on your competition. And in terms of how you can actually decide on what improvements to make, again, it all relates back to stage 2. So you need to think of all the reasons why you thought the competition was weak, and those are the gaps of the market. Those are the areas that you can improve on. So for instance, if it was that most of your products had a really poor quality product and were getting low review ratings, your differentiating factor, the way that you can improve, is by creating a more durable or better product that is consistently getting 5-star reviews. If the reason why you thought the competition was weak was because none of them had bundles, they were all selling very similar products, then the way that you can improve is to create a differentiated product, maybe a really awesome bundle that's going to allow you to stand out from the competition. So use all of the reasons why you thought the competition was weak in stage 2 to decide on what improvements to make in stage 3. Now, once you've actually gone through the process of product research, so discovering and developing a winning product idea, you then need to move on to step number 2, which is actually finding a manufacturer who can make those products for you. And the best place to actually find manufacturers is on a platform called Alibaba. Again, I don't have time to go through the whole process in this short video, but I have got a full video on how to source on Alibaba, which I'll link to up here and again down in the description. But Alibaba is really the biggest business-to-business platform that connects manufacturers with buyers like ourselves, and that's where I'd recommend actually going to find a manufacturer for your product. Then once you've found a manufacturer, the next step is to get some product samples. I'd recommend getting samples from a minimum of 3 different final manufacturers. You can then decide on a final manufacturer based on whether they can meet your specs, the price they can provide, and the quality of the sample they've provided. Once you've decided on a final manufacturer, you can then pay your deposit, which is normally a 30% deposit, and you can get your products manufacturing. Then once your goods are fully manufactured, your factory will ask you to pay the remaining balance. Once you've paid that remaining balance, you can move on to step 3, which is actually shipping your stock directly from your factory to the Amazon fulfillment centers. Now, if you ship your goods by air, you're probably looking at around 2 weeks. However, for most of you, you're going to be shipping by sea because air shipping is just so expensive and not really viable unless your products are really, really small and lightweight. So for most of you, you're going to be shipping by sea. And if you're shipping to the UK from a country like China, you're looking at around 60 days from your goods leaving your factory until they arrive at the Amazon fulfillment centers. So that gives you plenty of time to actually start your marketing plan and actually preparing for your product launch. And the first step in preparing for your product launch is creating a high converting product listing. Now, when it comes to creating a high converting product listing, there's really 4 key main elements. Element number 1 is your listing images, which are arguably the most important part of your product listing. Element number 2 is the keywords that you include in your product listing, which we also call SEO or search engine optimization. Element number 3 is your listing copy, so your title, bullets, and description. This is where you include those keywords for your SEO, and we also need to think about the human side, the actual conversion side as well in terms of the way that they're written. And then the 4th and final element is your product reviews. These are the 4 core elements of a high converting product listing, and you need to nail every single one of these 4 elements to have a high converting product listing. Now, there's not enough time in this short video to go through all 4 of these elements. So what I'm going to focus on is just images and keywords or search engine optimization. But guys, if you want a full tutorial on how to create a really high converting product listing, again, it's a video that I've already created and I'll link to it up here and also down in the description. Okay, so let's firstly talk about images, because images, like I said earlier, are by far the most important part of your product listing. They have the biggest impact on conversion rate. So if you do one thing right with your product listing, make sure that you create really high quality, high converting images for your product listing. Great photos sell products, so you need to nail your product images. So let's talk about best practices around product images. So the first thing is that you're allowed 7 images. Well, you're actually allowed up to 9, but only 7 images normally show on a product listing unless images are expanded. But you're allowed 7 main images. So make sure that you use them all. I just don't understand. Sometimes I look at product listings and they're only using 4 out of the 7 images. This is prime real estate to sell your product, prime real estate to convey the key selling features and benefits that those features are going to bring to your customers. So make sure that you use all of the space available. And in terms of the division of these 7 images, you want to have 1 main hero image, 2 lifestyle images, and 4 infographics. That's basically the ratio that I would use, and I'll go through each one of these one by one later on in this video. Next, you want to make sure that they are obviously very high quality professional images. One of the biggest mistakes that I see new sellers making is skimping out on their product images. And I said again and again, product images have the highest impact on your conversion rate. If you have low quality images, customers will think that your product's low quality. If you have high quality images, customers will think that your product is high quality. Remember, customers never get to physically feel your product. They are choosing not a product, they are choosing a product listing. And to make your product listing desirable, you have to have very high quality product images. So it's worth spending the money on and doing it professionally. Next, be consistent with your design. So for example, if you have your logo in the corner of one image, make sure you have your logo in the corner of every single image. If you have a title at the top for each of your infographic images, make sure you have the title at the top of every single infographic image. Then the 4th best practice is to keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it. And the 5th and final one is don't repeat yourself. Again, guys, this is prime real estate. If you're repeating yourself, you're just wasting space. So let's look at each of these image types one by one. So your first image type is a hero image. This is going to be your main image, and it's just going to have a white background. A pro tip for your hero image is to get a few different variations made so that you can then split test different variations inside Seller Central, work out which one performs best, and then move forward with that main hero image. The next type of image is a lifestyle image. This is just your product being used in its natural setting. A pro tip with lifestyle images is use actual product photography rather than a 3D rendering for these images. It just makes them look way better and much higher quality. Again, it will make your conversion rate much better. The 3rd and final type of image is an infographic image. This is an image of your product with text or graphics on top of it, highlighting key selling features or benefits of your product. And a pro tip with this is try to only highlight 1 to 3 main features or benefits of your product. If you try and include too much information on each of these images, customers just can't take in the information. So keep it simple and just try and highlight between 1 and 3 points. And this is a perfect example of a seller just highlighting 1 key benefit of their product. Okay, so now that we've covered the images, let's talk about keywords and SEO. So how do keywords actually work on Amazon? Well, the way that keywords work is that firstly, you enter keywords into your copy, so your title, bullets, and description. Once you do that, Amazon will then index you for those keywords. What this means is that Amazon will associate your product listing with those keywords. Then when a customer comes to Amazon, they will use specific search terms to look for products. If the search term the customer uses matches a keyword in your listing that you're indexed for, Amazon will actually show your listing up in the search results, and that's how customers can find you. So of course, what you want to do is make sure you have all of the search terms, all of the keywords that customers are regularly searching for inside your product listing so that you can actually show up when customers search those search terms. But how do you do that? Well, the way you do that is through keyword research. So you want to go away and do your keyword research, find the keywords that customers are searching so that you have a list to include in your listing copy. And there's really 2 main methods of doing keyword research that I would recommend using. The first is called a reverse ASIN lookup, and you can do this using the Helium 10 Cerebro tool. The second is just called a keyword search, and you can do this using a tool on Helium 10 called the magnet tool. Now again, guys, I don't have time to go through and show you exactly how to do both these methods in this video. but I do have a full video on how to do keyword research properly, which I'll link to again up here and down in the description. Go check out those videos. Once you then have that list of keywords, what you then want to do is include as many of those keywords as possible in your listing copy. So in your title, bullets, and description. Any that don't look right or you just can't fit in those 3 areas, you can put into your backend keyword list, which is a hidden list of keywords on the back end of your listing. And what you want to do is make sure that you add them in order from most powerful in your title, right through to your least powerful in your backend keywords. So when I say most powerful or most important, I'm talking about the keywords that are most relevant to your product, that have the highest search volume. You want to add those in your title, and then any that are remaining, add into your bullet points, then any remaining into your description, and then any final remaining, which should be your least important, your least powerful, you want to put in your backend keyword list. And make sure you save a list of those keywords that you use in your product listing, because we're going to use those in our PPC campaigns as we go into a product launch, which is the 5th and final step in the process of launching a private label Amazon FBA product. Now, when we're going through a product launch, our goal is to gain organic keyword ranking. So what is organic keyword ranking? Well, essentially, organic keyword ranking is how high you show up in the Amazon search results, and is determined by Amazon's super secret A9 algorithm. And the truth is, with this algorithm, no one really knows exactly how it works. There's many different factors and it's always evolving. But what we do know is that the most important factor is sales velocity, essentially how many sales your product listing is getting. Now, the problem is that when your listing first goes live, you have no sales history and you have very low organic keyword ranking. As a result of this low organic keyword ranking, you have very low impressions. No one's finding your listing, which means that you have very low sales velocity. This low sales velocity leads to continuous low organic keyword ranking, and you're effectively stuck in this negative feedback loop. So what can we actually do? Well, what we can do is we can use Amazon PPC advertising to drive initial traffic and sales to our product listing. This should then kick off what we call a positive feedback loop, or what I like to also call keyword rank snowballing. And I'll show you exactly how this works in just a sec. So using Amazon PPC advertising, what we can actually do is get our product listing to show in places that we just can't reach organically. So there's 2 main places that Amazon PPC ads can show up. And the first is in search results. So the top 4 listings at the top of any search results, those products are paying to be in those positions. So you can see that by the little sponsored badge that shows under them. The top organically ranked positions, 1 and 2, are actually listings number 5 and 6 in the search results, as you can see here. Now, like I said, our goal during a product launch is to gain organic keyword ranking. That is the key to success with a Amazon FBA product. And the best way to do that initially is to drive that initial traffic and sales using Amazon PPC ads. The second place that your PPC ads can show up is on product detail pages. So on other competitors' product listings, just below their product images, as you can see here. Now, the idea is that we drive that initial traffic and sales through Amazon PPC advertising. This leads to an increase in sales velocity. This increase in sales velocity leads to an increase in organic keyword ranking. The increase in organic keyword ranking leads to an increase in organic impressions, which leads to an increase in organic sales, which further drives sales velocity and kicks off this positive feedback loop. Then over time, you should be able to reduce your Amazon PPC advertising spend as you optimize your campaigns. However, due to your high number of organic sales, this positive feedback loop should keep going. And by reducing your PPC advertising spend, you're going to increase your profitability. Then once you've actually done that and your product is consistently selling well, Amazon will pay you every 14 days. And really all you need to do as a private label seller on a kind of monthly basis is optimize your PPC campaign. So this can be done every 2 weeks. That's what I'd recommend for most products. And also reorder stock when you're running low with your manufacturer. Amazon literally does all of the rest. Amazon will deal with all of your order fulfillment. Amazon will deal with any customer questions. Amazon will deal with all of the customer service and returns. They'll deal with everything else apart from optimizing your PPC campaigns and stock management, which is really all you need to do. And really, if you're just selling one product, this can be done in as little as 1 hour a week per product. So guys, I hope you found that video useful. If you did and you're just getting started with Amazon FBA, make sure to also check out my full training and mentorship program, the AB Academy, which goes into far more detail of every single step involved in launching an Amazon FBA product. And I'll see you in the next one.